Okay. Yeah. So you can start kick that off if you want.
No.
Yeah, because we were just on a break, and then we realized one thing.
Yep. Well, by we, it was actually Teo, and he was right behind the camera, and he was pointing like this. It looked fantastic, but
It did,
but he doesn't want to recreate that. Tell him what you realized. I cannot believe it. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
The bad guy in Commando, who we were just berating.
It was awful.
Yeah, an actor named Vernon Wells. We googled it. Apparently, also is the bad guy in the Road Warrior.
The Mohawk
Wes,
guy,
not
not
yeah,
Humongous.
yeah.
Which was a great bad guy.
Yeah.
But you're
was
right,
a
he doesn't really
memorable-
say anything.
Yeah.
So, because once he talks, isn't he like, all right, Matrix. You know, he's not a very good bad guy. Wow.
I don't know if the next time I watch Road Warrior, I'll be tainted by the fact that I'm thinking about Bennett
Thinking about Bennett.
Matrix in Commando.
Yeah. Yeah, and you really don't think he's that bad of a bad guy in Commando? I think he's a terrible bad guy in Commando.
Yeah.
Commando's
Let off some steam, Bennett.
Commando is the bad guy in Commando.
Yeah.
You can't kill that many people and be a good guy.
And with
in
a
a movie.
And with a saw blade.
Yeah, I mean, you can nuke them and maybe your country would consider you a good guy. Sure, that's different. But I mean, hands-on, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, and in one afternoon, not over the course of like a 6-year war or something.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for those guys.
Yeah.
That was good for Drew Barrymore. So, okay, round two of the villains, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, now my second villain is an actual villain who is a good villain, right? I mean, like Humongous, you use it to illustrate villain tropes and villainy in general and conflict and stuff. But my second villain, Scorpio from Dirty Harry, right?
Yeah.
Scorpio from Dirty Harry is a great villain, but he's a very flawed villain because you watch the movie, watch from the beginning, a beautiful movie. I love the way it's shot. It looks so good, you know?
Yeah.
But he's not very competent. Like, he does the first killing, right? Shoots that chick in the pool or whatever. And then they say, oh, you know what? We'll just start patrolling the rooftops because maybe he'll do it again. And because he's an idiot, he does it again. You know, he's not, he barely, he gets lucky is how he gets out of that, right?
Yeah.
And he gets out of that. But he's a very cruel and very funny. He's creepy. He's got the creep factor. He's also funny. Hubba, 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 pig bastard. I mean, he's got some good lines. Every penny's worth. But he's really, really creepy. I mean, really, especially with the kids on the bus when he like punches the kid and like
Let's sing.
Row, row, row your boat. What's the matter with you? Don't you think? Row, row, row your boat. Just over there. Sick? Are you sick? What is it?
The kid, I want my mommy. Smack. You know. So he's a great villain, a great flawed villain, because he's not actually very good at accomplishing his goals of killing people and being the Scorpio killer. He's good at being a bad guy, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? What do you think of that?
Well, he's sort of like, he has this, he's like a chaotic villain, like the Joker in a way.
Sure.
He's sort of like this type of person.
Yeah.
And the thing that was funny that you mentioned that he's not that competent as a villain.
Wow.
When you think about...
Not like Li Wu Jin.
No. And when you think
Yeah,
about
like a 15-year-old man. I'm going to go up on the rooftop, and then I'm going to go on the rooftop again.
That's my plan. That's what I got. So, yeah.
So why does he become, if he's so incompetent, why does he become this nemesis to police who is basically the best there has ever been?
Gets all the dirty jobs. But you don't get a backstory from it because it's, of course, you know, the Zodiac Killer.
But the idea, when
yeah.
you think about the idea of it, the juxtaposition of it.
He's just nuts. You show him that he's nuts. He punches kids.
Yeah.
You know? And,
I don't think that it's a coincidence as well that the actor, who I haven't seen a lot after that in anything, I don't remember seeing him in pretty much anything.
He was very good, though, in this. You know, he's a good actor.
But I don't think that it's a coincidence that he looks a bit like Manson. You know, it's just at that time and so on.
But he does some clever things. Like when he gets himself beat up, when he pays that guy to beat the crap out of him. That's some real dedication, man, to frame Harry Callahan.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And he's sort of like the dirty yellow bastard in those Sin City comics. He's sort of like this creepy, incompetent, and really evil.
Yeah, I mean, he does kill people. He does actually accomplish some of his foul work.
Yeah.
Oh, and
he's really pitiful in a lot of ways.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Like, but you know, in the stadium, you know, when he again does something really stupid. Clint's chasing him. Harry is chasing him around because he lives in the stadium. And what does he do? He runs out onto the football field in the middle of the stadium to get away from Harry Cal. And that's like the last place you would want to run is where you're obviously there. And Clint turns on the lights, and that's a beautiful scene the way it pans away from that and stuff.
No.
But he's like, I have rights. What about my rights? You can't, you know. I'm like,
but that's actually
you know,
when you mentioned mansion, that is actually a really good allegory when you think about the hippie movement and the sort of like the power it had over the United States. He's sort of like the hippie movement gone evil, and he's sort of like what you said. He doesn't do any. He's not rational or. Not really competent.
Runs out into the middle. I'm going to escape from this guy. He'll never find me if I run out into the middle of a field.
No.
But it is. There have obviously been a lot of problems, different problems with the morality of the Dirty Harry movies.
Sure.
And there's been some very valid criticism about how it portrays society and how it portrays the villain, because from the very first moments, the high-powered rifle is aimed directly at the audience when he kills the first victim. You immediately identify with the fact that this is a person who must be destroyed, and he plays the villain in a way which is not only evil and not only psychotic, but also not only pitiful, but kind of a bug that needs to be squashed. He's this, every time he runs into trouble, he starts whining and crying.
Look what he did to me. Look what he did to me. He's a blot on society.
But that is the hippie, basically, the idea. You know what you think about?
Harry's not a hippie.
And that's the thing that Harry's
he's entitled.
Harry's fascism.
Harry's a fascist, and the bad guy's an entitled hippie.
And Siegel himself apparently was a lifelong liberal, and he sort of distanced himself from that. He wanted to make a film where you start thinking about these things. What does it mean when a policeman is given free rein to do what he does, to torture people? And apparently Eastwood hasn't been that quick to distance himself, and he thinks that there is some validity to being able to exact revenge when other people can't be able to do that, and so on. And Eastwood plays that character in a way when he's torturing Scorpio, you can see that he's really relishing doing that. He plays it in his face. He's like, he's obsessed about hurting this guy really badly in a situation where he's.
So should you be by that? The way the whole Scorpio thing is you.
Yeah, but
but that's the problem. I think that's the problem with the whole film. It identifies the audience with siding with Dirty Harry, which is necessary.
With the fascists or the hippies.
Yeah,
but the hippies are evil.
Yeah, the hippies are evil, and they're deranged and they're psychotic and they're whiners and they're
whine about their rights.
But I guess the thing is, it's you identify with the. The thing is that when you have, I think the question is that what is society willing to do when faced with a problem like the Scorpio, like the killer in the movie?
Yeah.
And that is really the question. And Dirty Harry is sort of the fastest answer to it.
Well, the mayor has...
How do you react to it? How do you react as a viewer to this sort of a solution to a real problem? He gets all the worst jobs.
That's why he's Dirty Harry.
And he's a straight talker. Like the mayor, for example, he can't. The mayor can't say the word nigger when it's written on the wall.
But the mayor says the one thing when Harry explains what he's going to do, and the mayor turns to the camera and goes, "He's got a point." And side note here, my bad guy was going to be Dean Wormer from Animal House, which is one of my favorite movies, one of my favorite bad guys. But I chose this instead. It's Dean Wormer who plays the mayor in Dirty Harry.
Oh my God.
I know.
It's all connected.
He has a point. But the mayor, Dean Wormer, because I can't call him anything. In any part he ever is, he's Dean Wormer. Because if you play an iconic bad guy and stuff, that's who you're associated with, Like if Darth Vader, I don't mean James Earl Jones or David, whatever his name was, played Prowse. If Darth Vader was wearing something else and playing something, you'd say, oh, that's Darth Vader still.
Yeah.
Like whenever you see Boone from Animal House in another movie, you're like, oh, it's starring Boone and that other guy and that other guy and stuff. So when Dean Warmer was the mayor of San Francisco, which is pretty funny when you think about it, but he actually embraced the fascisti in a way because he's saying, well, I want something done, you know, blah, 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 blah. What are you going to do? And Clint says, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And the mayor turns to, he says something insulting, and I can't remember the line, but the mayor turns to the camera and goes, he's got a point.
Yeah.
So he does have a point.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's the thing. When ultimate anarchy is attacking order, how does the order respond? It has to become something else, basically. It has to evolve into something else,
and
that is more brutal.
Yeah, and it's
sure.
And it's a complete throwback to the Western as well,
Yeah.
because Harry walks the streets with gun in hand, like in the in the middle of the street with gun in hand, like high noon kind of,
and he's
kind
got
of swagger.
His line.
Yeah.
I know what you're thinking. Now, did he fire 5 shots or did he fire 6 shots? Well, in all the confusion,
you gotta ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Oh, Mr. Harry, you're really not gonna like what I have to say.
It's a great line.
It
you know?
really, and the delivery is, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
pure gold.
Now,
But what you said about Dirty Harry being beautifully shot, that was something that, because I rewatched it now on Netflix, and I'd seen it previously on like VHS or you know, with bad television reception or something like that, and I hadn't realized how well it's actually shot in terms of light, using light and shadow and the I mean the long distance shots and the skyline over San Francisco and stuff like that. It is a really technically a really well made film. I don't think much of Dirty Harry as a movie. I don't particularly like it, mainly because I get uncomfortable with the characters. But it is a really well made film, and I understand why it has that cultural significance that it has. And I also sympathize with almost everything that's been said about it in terms of criticism about the fascists.
But do we know what kind of a budget it actually had? I mean, Clint wasn't Clint then. You know, I mean, he'd been in Where Eagles Dare, and he'd been in TV star and Gunsmoke and stuff. But he wasn't like '80s Clint that was like the huge, gigantic box office hero.
He had done the spaghetti stuff already.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So he was Clint then.
Yeah.
By then, yeah. Okay, but that brings us back to Scorpio. Scorpio, great bad guy. If you like the film, if you don't like the film, it's kind of hard to argue. I mean, it's a really good conflict, the man versus man. Why did he not do a lot of other movies as a bad guy? Or a good guy? Why is he?
That is a really good question.
Child's Play 3. Child's Play 3. That's not.
Yeah,
that's
Trancers 3.
Okay.
A side role in Cobra.
Well, there you go.
The only one that I actually remember him from is Hellraiser, the first Hellraiser film, where he actually plays. He has those because he has a very sort of interestingly disturbing face, which gets really distorted in Hellraiser because he's got these hooks in it, and he gets stretched out and so on. And I so vividly remember those scenes from Hellraiser. But other than that, I mean,
could it be a problem?
Maybe he just wasn't interested. I don't know. But you'd think. I mean,
yeah, he's a teacher. Apparently, he's a teacher of drama in the University of Southern California. So
it just
maybe
seems like
he's
it'd be a marketable thing to have been Scorpio and Dirty Harry.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Wherever you are, man, we salute you.
Excellent work.
Yes. Probably watching this.
What does it mean when that?